All right. So the first thing, like as you're making this, and this is why I had you guys in the research and generate concepts. I had you guys look up the the simple outlines of things because that's gonna help. So what I'm gonna look up is airplane outline drawing. Okay, and I'm gonna go to Google Images and I'm gonna find one that is pretty easy. Like I think this one would work. This one would work. Just go. This one would be really easy and would totally work. So actually, I'm gonna choose this one. So I'm gonna try first. I'm gonna right click on it and I'm gonna do Save Image As. Okay. Now I have to look down here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a Save As Type, and it has to be a JPEG or a PNG or a PNG. If it's something else, it normally won't work. You can't get it to work. So I'm just gonna go on my desktop. I'm gonna call this Demo Pictures, and I'm gonna drop this in there. And I'm gonna call it Airplane and save it. Okay, so now I go back to back to my Onshape. So let me ask you guys. So the two of you guys that asked for the airplane, would you rather see the airplane cut out of a box, or would you rather see the airplane just extruded as its own in just midair? Which one would you rather see? Okay. Alright, so what I'll do is sketch. I'm going to start just in any plane that I want, depending on which way you want your plane to go. I'm just going to start in the front view, and I'm going to click check. And from the video, the guy showed us if you right click, and once you're sketching, what did I just do? Close out of the sketch. So you can right click and view normal to sketch plane, and it'll rotate so you're looking right at it. Okay. Now the image, inserting an image is in here. So if I click this down arrow and I say insert image, this box pops up. Okay. And now on this box, okay, it says no image files available, and it's actually like down below here, and right now my screen is not letting me see that because there's an upload image thing down below. And before, if I could zoom out, man, that stinks. Because there's an insert image button down below. Alright, so you have to zoom out. So like how I did this was holding control and rolling my mouse wheel. I think you can also press control and minus, or you can go up to Chrome, there's a zoom, and you can click the minus and plus, and then it will change your resolution of your screen, so you can click import. So now we click import, go to our folder that we created, which was demo pictures, choose my image and click open. Now it pops up over here, it says it's uploaded, and then it should pop up right here if it's the right kind of thing. But now what it wants you to do is you click on it and it says draw image rectangle. So this rectangle is going to represent your picture, like where it's going. So now I can actually dimension this. So because I want to stay inside, my 6 inches cube, so maybe I'll make this 1 inch tall, and then I'm going to start sketching. So I'm going to grab my line tool, because this is mostly straight lines. If you had curved lines, you could do the Spline Tool. So I can just outline this. And I'm just working my way around. There's a round part here. I'm just going to do my best. I could always add a fillet later. But now as I come back on the other side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some constraints. So I'm going to like go over the point, go over, so they're lined up at the same point. And then go over. So I've got, now these are all lined up. I'm even going to do it over here. Once you hover over a point, it'll find it later. So I didn't find the point. Alright, so now I've got a complete shape of my airplane. I end my sketch, I extrude, and I can now extrude that airplane. I want to be careful of how far out it goes. If you wanted to do like, you can put fractions in here. So if I want it to be 1/8 of an inch, alright, you can press 1/8 and it will extrude. Now if you wanted to round all the corners of this, you could do a fillet. Let's make it small radius, and then if you click on the top, oh, it's not going to work. I need to go smaller. For whatever reason, that is not working. So it might be just because it's too small. Yep. Yeah, you guys can use pictures. And so check this out. I'm gonna add. Did that answer your question, Ariane? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's all. Now check this out, you guys. I'm gonna go a step further. All right. So, you know, we are working in 3D, so I'm gonna make a sketch on top of this, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a rectangle on top of this. I'm going to move these, so I'm going to press escape to get out of my rectangle tool. Delete this one that I messed up. And I'm just going to move, I can now drag this. So I'm going to just drag this out so it looks like the tail fin. And then I'm going to extrude this up. So I just want the rectangle, not the whole thing. And that's 1 inch, so that's way too tall. So I'm just going to eyeball this one. I'm going to take it down till it looks like the size I want for a fin. But we know fins aren't blocky like that, so I can start another sketch on the side here. And I'm going to remove that part. So when I click extrude, click remove, and now we have kind of a tail fin. Looks a little thin, but whatever. So there's our plane, okay? All right, any questions about the plane? All right, so we're going to do a basketball next. And now when we do this, okay, we're gonna add on to like we're gonna add on to this. So I don't know, we don't really have a cohesive idea right now, but if I wanted to make the next part, like the ball on top of this, I need to create off of it. So I know that my front plane is like right there, but I might need to create another plane. Okay, so the planes are here. So if you need another plane that aren't these three, you can always create another plane, and you can go over here and you can hide planes. So you just click the eyeball and it goes away. So, but I am going to make an offset of my top plane. I'm going to go over here and click on it, and I'm going to zoom in. I want this plane to be like right at the top of my airplane. As you start to like drag it down, you can see where it's at. There's a tool that does this, but we're just going to put it like right there. Alright, so now I've got a new plane that I can start a sketch on. And actually I'm going to make that up just a little further. Okay, so now I'm going to start a sketch on this plane, and we're going to make a ball. So I'm going to start with a circle, and I want it to be directly above the airplane. And I'm going to make a line straight through the middle. So now we've got a ball. I'm going to revolve. So this is going to show your revolve tool. Click inside there. Choose my axis. Click inside there. And I've got a ball. But right now it's not touching. So either I could make another extrusion that's making it touch, or I can adjust that first plane. And Grayson, I think this answers one of your questions. If you just move that plane down, you can get it so it's touching on there. Alright. I'm going to turn my planes back on. So now there's a sphere, and if I want to make a picture on my sphere, I have to make another plane that's like right on the edge of my sphere. So what I'm going to do is go back into that plane. If I want this right on the edge, I choose front, and then do the same thing. Just move this back till it's right off the edge of my sphere. My computer is not happy. So I've got it right off the edge. Now I can click the check, and I'm going to start a sketch in that new plane. Alright, what kind of picture should we put on the sphere? Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to do PS5, controller, outline, easy. So find a good easy picture of it. This one's pretty easy. Right here. So we're looking for representations. If you guys try and get too complicated, it's going to... This is 4. Oh, I don't see 5 on here. What's it? Right here? Or right here? Okay, so let me ask you this, Ariane. Which one do you think we can model? This one or this one? like if you're gonna model this, could you handle putting all these details on it? But if you saw this, would you say, oh, that's a PlayStation controller, right? So that's what we got to go for. I know it's kind of that, but that's part of what we got to think about. Like this one could be close, but when you see this, I think you'll see this will get, it gets kind of complicated. So I'm going to go PS4, and here we go. We're going to try our best to do this. So I saved that image. All right, I'm going to go back. We're going to insert another image. So I'm going here. I'm clicking again. This hid my import button. So I click import PS4. It's uploaded. Click on it. I draw my rectangle. And then I'm going to just drag this and get it the size that I want it to, and click the check. Alright. Now here's curve stuff. So in this sketch, I'm going to use my spline tool this time, and I'm just going to do the outline. And I'm just doing just the outline first. And the spline tool, it works better with more points if you try and do too many points. Alright, click on your first point, and now I'm going to do this with 2 extrusions. So the first one, did that go on the wrong? So I'm going to extrude this. So it's just to the outside of my sphere. Alright, and it didn't get that circle in the middle. Oh wait, that's because it didn't go out far enough. So I'm going to drag it out so it's far enough so it's sticking out. Now I've got the outline of the PS4 controller. I'm going to go back into this sketch, so I'm going to turn it back on so I can see the picture. And now I'm going to sketch on top of that existing plane that I made, and I'm going to make the circles. So I'm going to go circle here, get it as close as I can, circle here, and then I'm going to use the center point rectangle to make a rectangle that goes right on top. Alright, so now I've got these points, and again, if I was doing this as my project, I would probably take some more time to clean those up. Make sure I get all my extrusions selected. And then I don't want this sticking out an inch. I'm going to drag it down. So it's just barely popping out. And now I've got my controller. And I'm going to turn that sketch off. So there's the PS4 controller. It's not perfect, but most of us would know that that is what it is. Alright. And I think that is, oh, we were going to do a basketball. if you guys are doing a basketball, I would do it 2D. So for this basketball, I'm just going to make a circle first. Alright, let's do this. So I'm making a circle first. And I'm going to extrude this. Alright, and here's another thing. So like right now it's adding another part. So you guys want to try and add instead of adding a new or creating a new part. Otherwise you're going to have a bunch of different parts and that's not what we want to do. So now if I have this circle, I'm going to start a sketch on the top. Oh my gosh. What? And I'm going to cut out the basketball parts. So I'm going to cut out like the laces. So what I'll do is I'm going to take a center point rectangle and just draw a line across the front. And then I'm going to use an arc tool. I'm going to do the best I can to get the lines drawn like this. And now I could press escape and I could start moving these around. But when I go to extrude, I can choose just these parts. And I'm going to choose remove and put in something, a really small number, and then I've got like a basketball shape. Alright,